So last week was the Melbourne Writers' Festival and the Brisbane Writers' Festival on the same week, and I got to go to both of them, which was fantastic, if a little bit exhausting. Monday morning, got up early, went to the airport to catch my flight to Melbourne, had just enough time to visit my ridiculously spectacular hotel room before heading down to Fed Square for my first session, which was Gabrielle Lord and I talking about action books and how to be action-packed. And on Tuesday I had a session that was just me talking about the Phoenix Files with about 100 kids, and none of them fell asleep, so I figured that's, you know, that's an achievement. And so I only had 2 sessions in Melbourne, which was kind of cool because I got to have a bit of time to go and see all of the cultural highlights of Melbourne.
I know this isn't what I think it is, but I still love it every time I walk past. I kind of don't believe there's a toilet in there. It just doesn't seem like there is room for it.
Something else that I noticed about Melbourne is they love their revolving doors. I hadn't realised this before, but it seemed like everywhere I went, doors were revolving. And it's so commonplace that people don't even care anymore. So anyway, Tuesday night after the session, back home to Sydney, up again Wednesday morning, fly to Brisbane. So the Brisbane Writers' Festival was happening in the Cultural Precinct in South Bank, which is like the museum, the library, the art gallery. I love this idea that all of the culture in the state is sort of crammed down into this one little 5-block radius so that no one else has to bother about it. At the Brisbane Festival I did 2 sessions with Steve Cole, author of Astrosaurs, Cows in Action, Z-Rex, so many books. I did a few sessions on my own, the highlight of which was me swallowing a bug on stage. I'm somewhere between the hotel and the venue, and somehow I've ended up in a forest, which is probably not a good sign. The other thing at South Bank that was between the hotel and the library where all the stuff was happening was this massive Ferris wheel called the Wheel of Brisbane. So every time I walked to or from the library I would see this Ferris wheel and I would flash back to when I was like 9 years old and excited by Ferris wheels, and I really wanted to have a go. Then on Friday night I met up with my piano genius cousin and he said, "We should do something tonight," and I said, "Yes, we should go on the Ferris wheel." And he looked at me like that was a mistake.
Look who I found, you can't see him. Oh no. Look, it's my piano genius cousin. Are you excited? Are you getting excited now?
How would you say you're feeling right now?
Perplexed.
Oh, get excited.
Excitedly perplexed.
Yes. I'm a little bit underwhelmed. I think I've been building it up a bit too much in my head. It should splash down into that water, that would make it more exciting. Okay, so remember when you first got here and you said ready to get ripped off? Yeah. And I said, don't be stupid, we're not getting ripped off. $30 is a great price. I'm kind of reevaluating. But on the bright side, I did get to take another trip through that enchanted forest again.
Throw the Pokeball, throw it, and we'll battle. Go.
Saturday morning was my last bit of my crazy week. I went to the SIA conference, an hour and a half talking to adults about how you write a book and how you get published. And I don't really know how you do either of those things. Like, I'm aware that I've done both, but I don't actually quite know how it happened. So anyway, thank you so much to the festival organisers for having me. Thanks to Jen, my publicist, for buying me lots of coffee. And thank you most of all to all of you guys who came out to the festival. I realise a lot of you were just coming out because it was a day off school and your teacher made you. But thanks for staying awake, and thank you for, you know, being entertained and entertaining. Thank you for all your great questions. It's really cool to be reminded that what I do is not just write stories into a vacuum, but there are actually people out there reading them, and that is something that I really love and I'm really thankful for. So thank you so much.